lusting after that. What we have to do is get back to the value system. When we were locked out of the game, so to speak, before the 50s, I think you had heroin coming in strong around that time. But when we were locked out, all pretty much majority of financial opportunity in this country, we had a tight knit community, and the values were very entrenched. And we have allowed this currency motivation to displace those values, and you'll find that to be the root cause for a lot of things. Money. What does OJ say? Don't let money change you. And we've let money change us as a community, and you'll find that to be the underlying cause for many of the things that we find ourselves faced with right now.
Sir, I certainly agree with you on that, and I think what I'm hearing is that it's time for a new way of thinking. Maybe not a new way, but maybe we need to go back to an old way
Exactly.
of thinking.
That's the key.
And I think that we will all agree that this job, this problem rests on our shoulders. This is our problem, and it's our duty as individuals who care about our future generations to make a stand up, and to come together and to produce new and innovative ways of dealing with this problem. Because there are some things that the government can do for us, and I think the government is absolutely incorrect by building more prisons, by privatizing prisons. If we had enough money, we could open a prison and hire guards to run it. But that's not the answer, and it's up to us. It's up to the African American men in America to stand up and to take this problem and to produce solutions to we know we'll never completely eradicate the problem, but I think that we can do a lot of work in lessening the effect on our communities.
Well, even you think about it, back in when rap first began, the message was all positive. Remember, Boogie Down Production, self-destruction. These were all role models that portrayed a positive image.
Okay.
And by them portraying a positive image, they made a positive society. Now that rap has become so negative, and just life in general has become so negative, we're getting a negative image from what we're portraying now.
All right.
So,
But Mr. Blunt, wouldn't you say that Kanye West winning Grammys and producing positive music is a good, strong step in the right direction?
that's a good, strong step in the right direction, but you got to look at it, the life that he lives behind it. You can say a lot of things in the studio, but what is the life you live behind it?
Okay, so that if he's going to talk the talk, he better walk the
He
walk.
needs to walk the walk.
And
Thank
then
you
I
very
don't think he made that song on a religious term anyway.
Well, we're hoping that we're looking for solutions, and we're looking for ways to fight the problems in our community. That's what we're searching for. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? We're trying to come up with innovative ways of dealing with this problem.
But isn't that what's wrong with our society right now? Because everybody look at the TV, what's on TV, and they saying, okay, I can act this way, one way, then I go outside on somewhere else and act another way.
All
So
right.
you're sending the kids this message here. Here's, let's take your Kanye West. I mean, what is he really doing?
Well, to me, it seems he's changing the trend, or he's changing the message of rap music.
But then look at the write-ups.
I mean, he won a Grammy for a song called Jesus Walks.
But look at the write-ups about him in the newspaper about his act after he gets out of the spotlight.
Well, I wasn't aware of
Okay,
that.
and when he wrote that song there, it's not all about Jesus. It's about him. Did you not hear about my ends, my means, my support, my rut? It ain't about, I mean, he used God to get where we at. Then all of a sudden when we get there, you don't know who he is.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, can't we agree on the fact that we are happy he's not talking about murdering people and carrying guns?
No, because now I think it's like we need to fear God. That's the problem right now. We don't respect God in no way. That's why half of these kids do what they do. Even
When
if
you
they got their own religions, it's somewhere somebody needs to say, hey, to a point, I only can do this here.
The fear
If
of
you
God
can-
has been lost.
Right.
And
If
when
I-
you say fear God, you mean fear in the way that a child would fear his father. because he wants to prove those things.
Respect, yes. We need
Yeah.
that respect back
All
in
right.
our system.
Okay. Alrighty, moving right along. Mr. Smith, we'd like to have you tell us a little bit about your book and what inspired you to write your book, and let everyone know if they are interested in purchasing a copy, what they'd have to do or who they'd have to call.
Okay, yeah, what inspired me to write my book, My Skin Was My Sin, which was published in February of 2005, brand new. You can order that through your local bookstore. Maybe they'll have it on hand at this point, Barnes & Noble, Borders, if not, Amazon.com. Also at my website, www.qssmith.com. Also, you can order books there. What inspired me to write the book was I think I have a very interesting life in the sense that I came from one environment and transitioned into another, and they were very, very different. And I had a lot of friends, a lot of people that I grew up with as a child who weren't able to make that transition. And in that vacuum or that void, you know, some of the negative consequences that we're talking about today, drug dealing, which leads to incarceration, and nowadays drug offenses carry much longer sentences than they did in the past. So you're talking about somebody's son, you're talking about somebody's brother, maybe somebody's father, somebody's uncle. So you have a tremendous amount of loss felt in the black community from these longer drug sentences. In some cases, the sentence was even more permanent, and I've had friends who've lost their lives in this vacuum or this void and not being able to make the transition from where I came, which is a very low socioeconomic background, and to be able to participate in the economic mainstream, the opportunities that were provided by our ancestors and our elders of the past generation. We should be storming the hill as far as those opportunities right now, but
Absolutely.
we've been so victimized that now that the opportunities are in front of us, many of us don't even make it to the point of entry. So this book is a guide for young African American males, young African Americans, period, to reconnect with their past so they can be insulated against the forces that conspire to hold us back, to keep us from point of entry when it comes to the doors of opportunity.
Very good, very good. And I understand that you are also you also own your own publishing company.
Yeah, that's important to me as well. I took this on as a project in stages, and when it came time for my manuscript to be shipped out to publishers, it was natural for me to say, hey, you know, black folks should own what they produce, and that's the next step in the revolution. We've accomplished a lot socially, we've accomplished a lot politically, and now we have to participate in the economic opportunities of this country that we built for free. So even we're talking about just free and back labor. I
Right.
mean, we're talking about we really owed a lot in this country. It's time for us to be granted those opportunities to participate in the economic opportunities that we've built. So Diaspora Publishing was just natural for me to own more of a percentage of what I produce.
Very good. Mr. Blood, would you tell us a little bit about your? It's amazing that you have a program, Second Chance,
By and by Enterprise.
By and Bright Enterprises.
Yes, sir.
A little bit about what you.
Oh, actually, right now I do some of, I help other people, like if they're in any kind of trouble as far as financially, looking for grants. I do grant writing. If you have a program that you're trying to start up, I do business plans. I'm just basically, I go around finding information. I spend a lot of time on the computer and looking for different information, filling my brain with information so that I can, like Mr. Smith said, can take part in the economical part of this world.
Alrighty.
And just
Well,
helping
we want our
others.
viewers to know that we will post phone numbers and websites at the end of the program, so that anyone who's interested in finding out more about the work that you gentlemen are doing, they'll know how to contact you. Mr. Smith, Mr. Shorter, I'm sorry. What are your plans for the future at Second Chance Life Skills Center? I understand that you, the young entrepreneurs in Second Chance Life Skills Center, plan to have a flea market at the center, which I think is a great idea because the flea market will actually be on the job training and being a future business owner. Is that
That's correct. It'll be first we're teaching the kids how to start off a business plan. You get them into a boardroom. We teach them how to come up with an idea. Then from the idea, we're going to go and have a flea market on it once every Saturday. Once a Saturday, we find a product for them to sell. We invite everybody to come out, participate, help the kids out on the different thing that they're trying to do. They will pay for their material, and the difference they will keep, just like a
Alrighty.
business, pay their overhead.
well, Mr. Shorter? I want you to know that the Straight from the Streets show is here to promote and to do anything possible to further the efforts of Second Chance Life Skills Center. We also want Mr. Smith and Mr. Blunt. We want you to know that we are here, and we want you brothers to come back on the show so that we can be of service, you know, in any and every way that we can. It was something that you said, Mr. Shorter, that caught my attention in a very unique way. When you spoke about how television is having such a negative effect. Well, at this time, I want to mention a couple of brothers who are in the television production business who have shows that are very, very entertaining. At the same time, they're very educational. And what I'm speaking about is are the Donald M. Bowen Sr., who is the creator and producer of the Bowen's Archives. If you haven't seen this show, I recommend that you watch this show. This brother's a genius. I think he's one of the lost Wayans brothers. At the same time that you are going to be entertained, you're also going to receive a very positive message. Also, I want to mention Mr. Greg Hunt, who is the creator and producer of the Smokey the Bear Show. And this brother also, I mean, the brother is very gifted, and we plan to have them on our show. You might run into them somewhere in the city. They are out doing location shots all the time. The Smokey the Bear Show is a combination of comedy as well as music. I think that this may be a step in the right direction. Mr. Shorter, do you think that we can use television, we can use public access in a way that we can be enlightening and to educate? You gentlemen agree that we are maybe using an effort that can see the purpose of our meeting, the purpose of our discussion is to identify the problem, which everyone does on a regular basis, but to come up with innovative, unique solutions. You know, we've been trying the same solutions over and over again, right? And our jails are, in America, the African American people represent about 13% of the population. But in the federal and state prisons, we represent 44%. We're 13% in the country, but we represent 44% of the prison population. So it's definitely we have to come up with something new. Well, we want to thank the viewers for taking time out of your day to listen to our discussion, and we want to thank our distinguished panel. I certainly hope that we can come together again and again and again to discuss and to analyze the problems and to come up with some innovative solutions. I'd like to just get a final word from each of you gentlemen or a few words you'd like to say that you think that will be inspiring to our viewers.
Well, my name is Andre Blunt, and on behalf of Greater Faith Temple, I would like to say if you're going to think at all, think big.
Great.
Quincy Smith, and in these exciting new times of this millennium, we have to reconnect to our past, and that's what's going to be our saving grace. And last thing, invest in a child.
Great. Mr. Jeff Shorter?
Well, we'll leave this say with you. If a person can't give you a yes, they can't give you a no. So seek as far as you can go.
I want to thank all you gentlemen for being here. I really mean it. Much love. We're gonna have you come back, and we have to meet on we've come up with some schedule where we can have the National Juvenile Crime Commission come together and discuss the matters in our community and to come up with new, effective, innovative solutions. Thank you for watching. We're gonna take you out with a video that I think will be very entertaining.
I'm tired of living life, the devil got a hold on me. I wanna be free. I'm on the chain with a lock and no key. I wanna be free. I know you hear me, Lord, can you save me?
I wanna be free. It don't matter black and white. It's on you. How you gonna get your soul to a night? We got to get these sins off of bikes. From the president to a base of smoking crack. Yeah, the harvest of the season is right. So pack your bag, it's time to take a flight. For the Lord, we got to get hype. It's a spiritual battle, we all got to fight. Blinded by the light, no faith, no sight. Not believing in Christ. Hey, there's so many things that I got to do. I got to change my ways, go to church and put in work to make it a better day. No more smoking weed and snorting, yay. Drinking beer, fishing off of the bait. Lord, what more can I say? Hey.
I'm on the chain with a lock and no key. I wanna be free.
Welcome to Straight from the Streets. I'm AJ Ali, your host. We're bringing you another very interesting program. Today, first I'd like to recognize our president, Mr. President,
Good
Darren
morning.
Walls. Thanks for being on the show again. This is our co-host. You
Now-
brought the T-Birds up today.
Yes, I brought the T-Birds up today. It's a sports show that we're having here on Straight from the Streets, and I thought none other better than Coach Mike and the T-Birds. We bring them on and let them get a little airtime, and we're going to be talking to Coach and the players here real soon, and we're just going to go with the show.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Coach. Thanks for being on
Thank
the
you,
show.
AJ.
Thank you, fellas. Your name is and the name of your team?
My name is Coach Mike Delancey. I've been with the Pinellas Park T-Birds since 1985 to present, doing head coaching jobs and enjoying every bit of it.
Alrighty. What was the season like for you guys this year?
This past season, we had a very successful season with the midget age group. We finished 9-1 in the regular season and continued on to play in the championship game. And we gave it our best, but didn't work out our way in the championship game. So we were considered
next
runners
year.
up.
Alrighty. Very good. Coach, would you introduce the players for us?
Yeah, we have a few players here from the Mighty Mite division, which is the 11 and 12-year-old division. We have the quarterback here, Jesse Hevier.
Thanks for coming on the show, Jess.
Next guy down here is one of my favorite kids I've coached over the years. This is Josh Walls, multi-talented player, and has had 2 great seasons in a row with me. Down at the end is Danny Sacco. There again, he played both sides of the ball, started both sides. He was our kicker, our punter, you name it. Danny was called upon to do a lot of things.
We want to thank you guys for coming on the show.
I had the Mike and his players to come on the show because that's what our show is dealing with, the youth of today. We know a lot of youth are in trouble, and we know how important it is to keep the youth and get them on the right track. And Coach Mike, I came to some of your practice and I followed because Josh, my son, he's on your team, and I've seen you pick him up, and I've seen what you had to go through with a lot of these kids, and I know it wasn't easy, and we just wonder how do you do it, Coach, and we just want to applaud you for keeping these guys together, and I know it wasn't easy, and would you say it was easy? Or
I would not say it's easy. You know, on a daily basis, you're getting phone calls in the morning about Johnny can't be at practice tonight. It's a big commitment. I mean, you got to have a job, for one, that's going to allow you to put in all the voluntary hours it's going to take. We practice Monday through Friday, probably 6 to 8 o'clock every night. Games are all day on Saturday, so we're spending most of the time 6 to 7 days a week with 30 kids per night per team. Then you start adding in all the other elements that you got to watch. You got to watch the kids' grades. You got to watch their discipline, and you really turn into a mentor. I mean, I don't want to call it babysitting, but
Technically, that's what it is.
some cases it is. You know.
Absolutely.
So
Well-
the biggest thing is the commitment. You know, the
Alright.
volunteer time. If you have that available, I think it'll work out good.
Good.
Coach, you know, at the Young Entrepreneurs Mentors Program, we use the football coach as the perfect example of what a coach should be, a coach in life. We hope each and every one of you young men become stars, footballs, NFL stars, but we want you to have a wider vision. We want you to see the bigger picture. And what we're talking about is your life in general. And we want you to start thinking now. Start thinking now about what you'd like to do after your football career, what you'd like to do in case you don't have a professional football career. And I want you to just imagine the way you trust your coach, the way in which you trust the coach and what he tells you. And we want you to know that we are here, and what we are trying to get across is that we're going to be mentoring you guys and helping to guide you in every area of your life. So what we like to do is have each one of you guys have what would you, if you become a great football player, Jesse,
Yeah.
you know, you're Hall of Fame players. Well, a Hall of Fame player would be rich. He wouldn't have to worry about working. What I'm thinking about is if you couldn't